We met through my sister, and he came up for Christmas dinner, and I realized he was the most competitive, creative person I've ever met. We spent 4 days turning anything that was in front of us into a game.
She was always talking about the madman, and you know, I had to finally meet the legendary Tony.
And he ended up marrying my sister. I heard Bennett was a pretty good designer, and we were in a panic. We just started Capital C, and we needed some really good design for a project. And we sent it down, and what came back just blew everybody out of the water. I mean, this wasn't design, this was brilliance, genius. So from that moment on, I was tenacious and persistent in trying to get him to come in and work with me. So we got together.
So was it coming together of the creative minds?
It comes from a lot of just, you know, banging our heads together. Right now, it's really about the design. It's about tweaking the process.
Anything special in this world has a process attached to it. I mean, sometimes it's completely unbridled and spontaneous, but things happen. And I think in creativity, so much of bad creative isn't the result of bad creative people. It's the result of bad briefs, bad insights. The great thing about Canada is it's wonderful people, and they're tolerant, and we're lovely and we're polite. The other side of it is we rank almost dead last in productivity in the last 30 years, which is undermining our ability to compete. Manufacturing is leaving Ontario, not because they're Canadian dollars at par, but because for the last 30 years, we haven't competed on an equal footing with the Americans or the Europeans or the Asians. I think marketing is as much at risk as manufacturing, because global corporations are going to continue to retrench their marketing in the hope of being efficient. Efficiency is productivity. So we're either going to have to go after that global work, or much of what we know as marketing in Canada is going to disappear. And I think in the next 5 years. If Canada got 5% of the global work, we wouldn't be competing. We wouldn't know what to do with all that work. So it's just, we're going to start competing hard as that business disappears and everybody's fighting, versus going after the demand side. Head, heart, and hands. The big idea to me is something that is so easy to understand, which is the head. The heart is exciting. It makes my heart beat. Not just the person presenting it, but the actual person listening to it. So you see the language of moving in together. And hands, it's really easy to take on and to make it your own. That's what I consider a big idea. Part of the coolness of our brand could be down the road is we're this sort of rogue Canadian agency. I kind of like that positioning.
I mean, technology makes it possible that you can.
Yahoo makes it possible.